Hello everyone, I'm Cole from the Kingdom, and today we're reviewing Swelter, a recently released Half-Life 2 mod that's honestly really impressive, especially from a technical standpoint. But let's talk about it. No significant spoilers. The game is very combat-focused. You play as a rebel seeking out a separate rebel army in Central Asia, hoping to repair relations and gain their support. Honestly, that's a really cool setup. I love the idea that there are other rebel factions beyond the Lambda Resistance. The game really puts you in the boots of a rebel, with some awesome set pieces where you're fighting with a big squad. And there's a feature I really like in the mod options menu where you can fine-tune how you want the combat to be, from default to realistic. I like the realistic feature where if you reload, you lose the rest of your clip. I wish more shooters used a realistic model where you have total magazines instead of total bullets left. The game also has a bunch of unique animations. This is a welcome addition and really makes me feel like I'm playing a modern game, not just Half-Life 2. That's not to say Half-Life 2 isn't still amazing to this day, just that the animations and ability to aim down your sights breathes new life into it. I've seen this same sort of thing in other mods, but for some reason it feels more satisfying here. And then there's these really cool parts where you have to do something unique to progress, like hooking up this truck to a gate to pull it down, or throwing rockets to this guy so he can blow up the APC. Once you get the hang of what the game wants you to do for the puzzles, they're pretty decent. But there are a few parts where it took me way too long to figure out what exactly the game wanted. And then there's the level design. First, it definitely gives you the feeling that it is hot, sweltering. The music also helps with that feeling, and it's very fitting. But also, just the layout and design of everything feels very natural. I see some Half-Life 2 mods that are heavy in graphics tiling, and overall the design just feels simple. I'm glad that's not the case here. And I have to talk about this part where you make it outside the wall of the city. Look at this! This is so cool! It's also really cool that you get to see some of what life is like for the rebels living outside the Combine's reach, even if I feel they're a little exposed here. But if the Combine's goal is to drain Earth's natural resources, it would make sense there would be regions where they don't have much presence, because there's little there of interest. At least for the time being. The whole part where you have to drive across the steppe is really cool, and I feel like I'm saying that word too much. But I think you have to stop a few too many times. It was really reminiscent of Highway 17, which is not the first level I would have chosen to take inspiration from, but I would have wanted to refine it a bit more. Now, I've said a lot of positive stuff, and it's earned, but sadly there are some negatives too. Some of the voice acting is... well, I've heard worse. I've heard much worse. It doesn't bother me that much, but I noticed it. And then there are some world issues. Some of the workers you meet near the beginning don't exactly feel as downtrodden and oppressed as they maybe should. There's one guy who talks about going on strike and everybody just getting beaten for it, which makes me wonder how far into the Combine's occupation we are. I don't know if it's a spoiler, but it's roughly 8 years. I feel like we should have learned that sooner than we did, but maybe I just missed something. I mean, how could they even try that unless this was the first attempt? But the beginning makes it clear that two rebel factions are at least relatively powerful. But then there's these two guys who say they won't join the rebels because they have wives, children, and parents. But the Combine didn't allow any of that. They didn't like anyone being close to their families unless it was like a perk of joining them. Which these guys clearly haven't if they're casually talking to rebels out in the open. Something else I want to mention, this is City 545. That number seems a little high to me, but I guess I wouldn't really know. Also, I did encounter a fair few bugs, and like I said, it wasn't always exactly clear to me what I should be doing in some of the puzzles. And then there's this anti-aliasing. I chose what I thought looked best overall, but it's still rough to look at sometimes. I think that's an engine limitation, but I've seen some other mods that are way better about it, so I don't know. But that's about everything I wanted to talk about, so do I think you should play this game? Well, all in all, I had a good time with it, and I'm really impressed by the gameplay most of all. I usually play games for the story, so it kinda says something that the gameplay here impressed me so much. The story is good. I wouldn't say it's great, but maybe that's just on me. If you like Half-Life or even just cool shooters, I encourage you to play it. Well, maybe in a few weeks once they work out some more bugs. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to comment and like. I'll see you later.